Ways from last night's game and a big win starting off the homestand.
Yeah, feeling like we talked a lot about our start, and I'm feeling like the first 10 we were really good. Then maybe in the second half of the second we maybe dipped a little bit, but then it was strong of us to hold it out and play solid defensive.
How has the defensive structure looked the last few games? I know after those back-to-backs out on the road trip, you guys wanted to tighten up. A few guys have said. How did that look in the last couple of games, and how have you guys seen that grow since Todd's been here?
I feel like overall our defensive game has grown a lot. We're a hard team to score at, but then I feel like this last game we maybe haven't scored as much as we want, so it was nice to get a couple yesterday.
You started the scoring up yesterday. In terms of your game and where it's at, how confident are you feeling right now at this point in the season?
I feel good. I feel like my game has grown a little bit after when Todd took over, and I feel like point-wise and goals, it's always give you higher confidence when you score and help the team that way. So, but then I feel like my defensive game doesn't take away, my offensive game doesn't take away the defensive game too. So overall, I feel pretty good.
Is some of that confidence from the guys that you're playing with on the lines as of late?
Yeah, I feel like me, JT, Laddie, and now Joe, we helped a lot, and they helped me with the small details, and they're really good players, so of course that helps.
You guys faced Tampa Bay last Saturday, coming into town tomorrow. What are some of the keys against a good team like that?
I feel like the last game we played against them was a little bit sloppy by us, not like what the standard we have put on ourselves, so feeling it would be a good game to take a revenge a little bit.
And then last one for me, another Atlantic Division opponent tomorrow night. You guys faced Montreal last night. How big are these points, collecting them, especially on home ice right now at this point of the season?
Yeah, of course we want to take care of home ice, and especially when, like you said, we play against a team in our division. It's always a little bit extra, and I'm feeling we're on the right way. Just keep going.
Thanks, Bergie.
Albert, Todd McLellan had some really positive things to say about you after last night's game against Montreal. Where do you feel your game is at right now?
I think I've improved a lot. I think since Todd came in here, I kind of reset my mind, and then we've been winning as a team, and that helps for sure. But I feel more comfortable. My confidence is higher, and I think overall I'm playing just better hockey. Like, I'm not that stressed that I maybe was a little bit before.
How much does getting the consistent playing time help you?
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot. It's hard when you're in and out and play one game, sit out for 3 games, and go back in. I mean, you want to be in the lineup and be in that kind of flow when you just focus on next game every time. So, of course, that helps a lot.
Since Todd came in, you've been playing with Simon Edvinsson. The familiarity between you two in Grand Rapids feels like you can see that. How much more comfortable are you playing alongside Simon?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we played a lot in GR and built that chemistry there. So it's fun to play with Simon. We know each other really good on the ice, and of course off the ice too. We have a good friendship there, and I think that helps too. But like you said, that year in GR when we played together, I think that chemistry and that confidence we built together is working pretty good for us here too.
What about your games complement each other, you and Simon?
I think we kind of think the game in the same way. We both want to end plays quickly and move the puck and set up the forwards and join the rushes and play in the O-zone. And I think our game's been good. Like, we're shutting down plays, we're moving pucks, and not spending that much time in the D-zone, and that helps a lot.
As a whole, the defensemen on this team seem to really be contributing offensively a lot more. For a young player like you, how hard or easy has it been to find the balance of providing some offense but making sure you have that defense-first mentality?
I mean, I would say when I get in here, my biggest focus was on the defensive game, to be good there. And then when you play consistency and you get more comfortable. I think that offensive game just kind of just comes. I mean, when you play good defensively and breaking up plays, you get more opportunities to play offensive. So I think just overall, if you play good defensively, the offensive game will come.
Awesome. Appreciate your time today, Albert.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, right? Afternoon, yep.
I didn't see Petrie out there today. Did he have a setback yesterday, or?
No, he just, he's on a schedule, and he had a good skate yesterday, treatment today. I'm not sure what's on the program for him tomorrow, but all part of the schedule.
Kane's still out for tomorrow, or do you know yet?
Kane won't play tomorrow,
And still a day-to-day situation.
as far as I know, yeah.
The way Albert has played, and when Petrie comes in, I mean, just good problem to have when you have more good players at a position like that.
Yeah, I don't, from my perspective, I don't see it being a problem. I think he just keeps on playing, in my opinion, but it can change. He can, he can't give any of his game back because he's raised the bar so high, and our expectations are going up for him, but he's, I don't think it's a problem. I think it's a luxury more than a problem. So.
You talked about Cobb getting legs and his hockey sense aligned last night. I'm curious with a player who's sort of versatile in the way that he is. As a coach, do you want to kind of narrow his focus in certain ways, or do you want him to kind of embrace all of it at once?
I think the position that he plays, he has to, there's a lot of on your plate when you're a centerman, and he has to create some chaos opportunities in the offensive zone by being around the net, especially when he's playing with Kane and DeBrincat, the way they play. And then he's got to be so responsible down low in his own end. We're asking him to do a lot in 200 feet. But if we simply explain that to him that way, I think it kind of paints the picture of what it should look like. And then he's a very experienced, confident pro that should be able to take that and run with it. I don't think we have to make it any more difficult than that.
Todd, how did you view him in the Western Conference when you saw him? I mean, kind of a solid two-way guy, a guy who can score goals too? Or?
Well, he played in Winnipeg, and that's where I know him the most from. I can't tell you what happened in New York, and I couldn't really even tell you what happened here. It's like it's another league out there. And but when he was in Winnipeg, he was a load to play against. One, because he had such good checking skills and played on a checking line, but they also could hem you in and really get after you offensively. So I viewed him as a two-way guy that could play the game however the game was presented, whether it was physical, fast, a thinking game, a grinding game. He seemed to be involved in all of those.
Todd, I know coaches tend to focus on the present, but when you have young players who've been drafted from the organization, Albert, Marco, who are thriving and really growing into their roles, do you appreciate it from the bigger perspective of the continued success and growth of the organization?
Yeah, it takes the whole army to win the war. And I don't know if that's a good analogy in today's world, but it takes everybody from the cooks to so our scouting staff, our development staff, and to see the kids come in now and play is really important. It's rewarding for everybody in the organization, including the fans. So forward thinking with the type of players that I hear are coming, if they maintain their path, their development path, there's going to be more of them arriving, and hopefully they can do what this group of young men have done.
And do you have, you mentioned it, I think it was with Elma the other day, if you make a mistake, it's okay. I mean, is that like you cut young players some slack because you don't want them to play tentative, right, and mistakes you can live with so long as they learn from?
I think you have to think like a player a little bit, and I wasn't a very good one. I got just a little bit of time to play, and I spent most of my time worrying about how I was going to stay here and survive, and that probably made me a poorer player than maybe I was. So if you sit on the bench and you worry about mistakes and you worry about, am I going back down? Am I staying in the lineup? Am I progressing or falling behind? Inevitably, you're going to get a setback. So we have to put them in the best position possible to succeed, and then they provide the evidence to us. Hey, you know what? I'm ready to do it, and they just keep on doing it. Albert's a prime example. And if they're not, that's okay. They're not ready. And then they go back and they continue to work with this whole group of people that are hired to help them. And they have an unreal system or network around them that offer them a chance at success. But at the end of the day, they have to grab on, they have to listen, they have to work. And they're ultimately responsible for their own results when it's all said and done.
Teams are putting so much resources toward development now. I'm curious, like, what differences do you see in the 20-year-olds that come into the league today versus 15, 20 years ago?
Oh, well, they're just different people. Completely wired differently. I have a 29-year-old and a 25-year-old, and just that gap is immense. How one sees it and how the other sees it, how they deal with emotional situations, how they're motivated, how they get their information. So if you're comparing a 20-year-old Logan Couture 15, 18 years ago to Marco Kasper, it's completely different. But the world's created that, not just hockey. Yeah, so that's how wide the gap has become.
Razor makes that nice pass to Cat last night in the final seconds of the first period for the goal. How much of Razor's hockey sense are you kind of picking up on, and how advanced he is for that age?
Well, he's a hell of a player, and to do that, you have to have hockey sense. There's a lot of real good workers in the league, but maybe don't have that anticipation or that sense of what might happen or how to create it. Razor has it, so you do appreciate it. Not every player has it, so when you're around it, you hope it rubs off on some others. And quarterback, receiver, Cat had to have some sense too, that get above the goal line, get ready to shoot, know the clock. That's hockey sense in that situation. Both of them, their internal clock was ticking down with the play clock, and they had one shot to get it to the net in 3 seconds, and they did it. So that's hockey sense.
Are you seeing that growth you were talking about with Elmer as well, that wanting more? And I know it's been a small sample size up here so far, but
Perhaps it's a little tougher for Elmer than everybody else that's been here. He was the one true recall that we've had. So we've now spent almost a month together, I think, or we're getting close to it. So the players are a little more comfortable with how I and Trent and the staff are behaving. We're more aware of how they're behaving. And we've kind of all grown up together in that 30 days. Elmer's just got dropped in. So he's trying to figure things out. We want to make sure we're encouraging, helping him. But I have a sneaking suspicion he might feel a little different than everybody else that's been here for a while. But that will change as it goes on.
Are you going back to Talbot tomorrow?
We're considering it, yes.
It will be a month Sunday. Are you all settled in now? Do you have the
No.
house? And not even.
Well, you think, and this is my problem. This isn't anybody else's problem. Coming in at Christmas and then into New Year, there was a lot of people that wanted to work or sell their homes or even rent their homes at that point. And then we went on the road, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
so you're looking forward to the Four Nations break too?
I am and I'm not, because that's when the moving truck comes and all that type of stuff. So if I just got some rest and got to put my feet up, it would be fine. But that load can't be on my wife's shoulders, just her. So I'm active. All good?
Thanks,